All right. So Jenn Sherman, a.k.a. Peloton Jen.
Correct.
Is with me. Get closer to the mic. And so I have to give the backstory before we even get into it, because people have to know that, like, I've had the bike for 4 years.
That long?
Yes.
I didn't realize it was that long.
You did, because I took your class early on. Because the minute I got the bike, my sister was like, there's a girl, Jenn Sherman, and she went to Syracuse, and she's a regular girl, and she's just like all of us.
And we're sorority sisters.
Right. And you have to take her class, and and everybody loves her, and she's great, and she's been teaching spin forever, and now and this was when Peloton was not yet like, it was like on the cusp of becoming Peloton. It was
4 years ago.
Yeah. It
totally.
was February of 2016. It was a birthday gift. And I loved it. I got on the bike, and I was never really happy going to classes, like,
right.
Because to make a point, whatever, to make a time, to have to be there. And I loved the feeling like I was in a class. I mean, all the things that people like about Peloton were why I loved it. Mm-hmm. And your class was just like hanging out with one of my friends. It was just bizarre, because I was like, oh, it's just exactly the same. And then I guess we started talking, and you told me you were like a diehard SiriusXM person, and you loved Howard Stern and Howard. And it was so cute, because, like, this is going back now, maybe 3 years ago, you were like, I'm a huge Sirius person, and
right.
Oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. And then, like 6 months or so ago, Howard starts talking about you, and I had the best time.
Were you freaking for me?
Freaking for you.
Okay.
I called my sister.
Imagine how I felt.
Right. I called my sister and I went, oh my God, I'm so excited for Jenn Sherman because Howard is taking her classes and he's talking about her, and she's a diehard Stern fan. And it was so great. So I know having you come to SiriusXM is probably extra fun. And what happened when you got here?
So, first of all, thank you for having me. I adore you.
So
you know
fun.
that. # movement.
Yes, well, we gotta move
I
our
love
bodies.
you, Jenny.
Yeah.
So I was so excited for this, and I didn't know the setup of this building. I've been in this building before, but not up to this floor.
Right.
So I get here, and I'm sort of just waiting on the couch like I'm instructed to do. Uh-huh. And Baba Booey just walked out from their side. I didn't even know you were on the same floor. I didn't know if this was a one-floor situation.
Yes.
Anyway, Gary, as you probably know, has a bike as well.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool that he actually recognized me.
Oh, my God. Is he like, why are you here?
Yeah, he was like, what are you doing here? Yeah. I'm like, I'm here to stalk you guys.
Right.
I was just like messing with him.
Good.
I, of course, told him I was coming to talk to you. Hope you don't care that I mentioned you have a bike. You've probably talked about that.
Yes.
I mean, not to focus on that because I want to talk to you, but he did pull me back to the studio. I just got a tour.
Oh.
I met Sal. I met Richard Christie.
Great.
I met a bunch of the guys.
Yeah,
amazing.
The best. So
amazing.
They're all really good guys. When I started here in 2005, it was 3 months before Howard launched.
Okay.
So I've been with all of them for the past close to 15 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're here. Yeah, I'm here 14 and a half. So close to 15 years. And
It's nuts that it's that long.
It's that long.
Wow.
And Sal and Richard and John Hine is a good friend of mine.
Just met John.
I love John,
Yeah.
and I love his wife Debbie. She's amazing. She's as terrific as they always say on air. And then and of course Gary. I mean, it's Gary. So they know about Wait Wednesday. They know about, of course.
I said it's Wednesday, Gary. He goes, oh, of course.
Yeah, Wait Wednesday. Yeah,
It's wild because just really quick backstory with the whole Howard thing. A lot of very important people at Peloton know that I'm a fan. I talk about Howard on the bike, and not just because he has the bike now. I've been doing that for a long time.
Oh, I know.
So when word got to me that he was getting a bike, if I'm being fully honest, I was shitting in my pants.
Yeah.
You know, he's my hero, honestly. He's gotten me through a lot of stuff throughout my life, and I've laughed so much with all of them. And of course, me being me, was like, he's going to fucking hate me and my classes.
Right.
And he's going to say that on the air. And I'm a big girl.
Right.
But I just thought I'd be crushed
of course.
that this guy that I love so much. So the way that it's all turned out is
he fell in
mind-blowing.
It's so great. It's just, I let every time he talks about you, I smile.
Yeah.
Because I just know that feeling like you work really hard, Jen. You give a great class and you are so devoted to this whole Peloton thing that because I was wanting to book John Foley when I had first started, and I did book him because of you.
Yep.
And and we talked about you on the air because he loves you. You're one of the first instructors, and you've been there.
The first.
Oh, you are the first.
I'm the first.
And you've been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
You were teaching spin in another place before you got to Peloton.
Right, in New Jersey where I live. Right.
This was not like some whimsical thing you just did. This is a real thing, and you give it your all. I mean, you commute to the city to do it.
I do.
It's
happily, by the way.
Unreasonable hours, but you do it anyway. and it's what it's grown into. I mean, I don't know. Did you have any idea that it was going to turn into this? That there was going to be this sort of cult-like thing? I mean, I see people on Facebook, and look, I'm not really a joiner. It's not my way. So I like to lurk on the message boards, and if I have a question, I'll ask. But I'm not. But these people,
you've seen it.
Oh God.
Oh, it's real.
Oh, it's
real.
And they come for these weekend events, and these come in the studio, and
yes, we have this yearly homecoming event, friendships, community. That's actually the part of Peloton that I couldn't have told you that I saw coming. Right. John Foley would tell you he didn't see that part coming.
Right.
So the quick backstory is I was very close. I got certified to teach spin. Oh, it's a long time ago now, maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I fell in love with indoor cycling immediately. Yeah. I was always a worker-outer.
Yeah.
Whatever was like popular, I was in it. You know what I mean? Reebok Step, the whole thing. Yep. I was everything back to like the 80s. I discovered spin. One of my closest friends, I got to give her a shout out, Barbie Doll, who has a Peloton now.
Okay.
She dragged me in my first class, and I fell in love. And a handful of years later, I got certified. I got very close to opening up my own studio in New Jersey, 5 minutes from my home, where I still live now. And I found out about Peloton. This is going back to 2013, so seven years ago now, plus. And I read about Peloton. I read about the vision. I read about this bike that was being built. There was no studio yet. So this is our studio, pre-everything, by the way, right. And I was able to send an email to John Foley. I was able to get that email, and I wrote him, and I knew that it was still early yet to be hiring instructors. There was no place for an instructor to teach, but they were looking. They were putting out their feelers to try to start building a team. And I sent an email to John. I didn't know who John was. I Googled him. I didn't know what Peloton meant. Okay. I've said it on the air before, so I'll say it again. I had to look up the word.
Yeah. So did I.
Peloton group of riders, feeding off energy in a pack, right? Yeah. Tour de France type terminology. Anyway, I reached out to John, not even knowing if I'd ever hear back. And I wrote this letter, which we all still have in our phones. John has it, and Tom Cortese, a bunch of the heads of the company, all still have this first email. And he wrote me back and said, when can we meet?
Aww.
I said, I live in New Jersey. He was like, oh, what is that? Like, he was like, oh, is that hard? I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, right over the GW Bridge. What day? When and where? And we sat down and we talked and we had a conversation. And I did say, this is really, really interesting to me. Can I curse here?
Yeah, of course.
This is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I said, this idea is brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm about to open up my own studio. This is after teaching many years locally in a small studio in New Jersey. But I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to build my own space and see if they would come. And this kind of interrupted the entire thing.
Yeah.
And long story short, I walked away from opening that studio, which is the best decision I ever made.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Because I really did believe. I didn't know. I mean, no one knew. Come on. Like,
but
7 years ago, there was no way to know. Would people want to ride a bike that goes nowhere in their basement?
Yeah.
Because the whole deal with other big popular spin studios.
Sure.
It's about the energy in the room.
Yes.
So that was the X factor. Would people be missing out on that piece of it?
Yeah.
But how about all those people that don't feel comfortable walking into a gym?
That's right.
Or a clicky spin class. Or someone like you.
I want to be able to get off the bike and go pee.
Right.
I don't have the extra. I don't have the 45 minutes to get there, to click in, to set my bike, to wash my hands. Like I wash my hands, but I don't have the. I don't have the extra hour. Like I need to be able to exercise when I feel like exercising.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to be able to walk downstairs or walk into the next room, or maybe it's in your bedroom, wherever you keep the damn thing.
Yeah.
Hop on. In your clothes, in your black tank top.
That's right.
Or in your freaking pajamas if you want to.
Yeah.
And ride.
It just doesn't matter.
And ride.
Yeah.
And so the secondary piece of the Peloton insanity, and I say that in the best possible way, is this community.
It's wild. It's
insane.
hilarious. And also crazy. I mean, they're rabid. The devotees are rabid.
They are.
And you're not allowed to say anything negative about anything.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
They go fucking
even
insane.
Even if it's not negative. Like, God forbid you say, I want a pause button.
Yep.
The entire, like, 400,000 person page balls you out. Like, I'm like, I just need a pause button to pee. Like, I just need that because I have to check my phone.
You're not alone, by the way. You know, there's a lot of people that are looking for a pause button.
I know.
That pause button might come.
I think it will eventually, but people are... Because if it's not a live class, why do you fucking care?
You know, because I will say this, Peloton is really amazing at listening to the riders at what they want.
Yeah.
They have taken so many ideas that have come from riders.
Yes.
Let's put the pause button thing aside. There's got to be a good reason why there's no pause button yet.
Sure.
But they have really listened, and that bike has been updated and changed, and there's been...
And they've been really fair. I mean, I had it in, it came in 2016 is when I got it.
You're an OG, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's old.
You're an OG.
Yes. And then I got a new monitor, I think a year and a half ago.
Great.
They gave me a new monitor because my monitor died.
Right.
I mean, it was like, it just was over.
Yeah.
And they were real nice about that. But it's been funny because early on I felt like I could get bigger numbers at the beginning and it's recalibrated a little bit and it's definitely...
Do you care about that? Are you sort of a numbers person?
No, because I close the leaderboard off. I'm always in the lower half.
Okay.
I don't care about PRs. I go by my heart rate and I'll jack up resistance. I do my own metrics. Like, I'll try to keep up with the speed. I'm not fast. I just don't. It's for me.
And guess what? Neither am I.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
And if I wasn't up on that platform instructing the class and I owned it and I had a Peloton, I don't actually have a bike, believe it or not. But if I did, and I would, if I didn't teach for Peloton, I wouldn't be someone that would be driven by numbers either.
Yeah.
That's either in you or it's not. And I always say to people that talk so much about the numbers or they're bummed out about their numbers, forget the fucking numbers. Just clip in, enjoy the music,
really
enjoy the ride.
I mean, people have to realize what matters is what's happening to your body. So,
but not everybody sees it that way.
But that is the only way you should see it. Because if you're sweating and you are raising your heart rate and you have your resistance up, so you're working the muscles in your leg, and you're sitting erect, and so your core is correct, and your shoulders are back, and your chest is open, and you're
listen to my cues.
Of course, I have to listen. And you are enduring the ride, and so you're keeping yourself active for that amount of time. That's the benefits right there. It doesn't matter where you
and of
fall
course, that's what I tell my riders. And when I say my riders, let's talk about them for a moment. My demographic,
oh my
right?
God, your team. First of all, what's your Facebook page? Like, I'm on that page, but what is it?
JSS Tribe.
Okay, the tribe. Again,
I love my tribe. Shout out to the tribe.
It's just
they're listening.
Yeah, it's just the sweetest thing. It's just. But I don't think, did you anticipate that there would be like almost a celebrity thing to it? That
no.
This,
of
like,
course not.
Like, they run to the studio to meet you, like, and you're so nice to them. Like, no one's ever said that you won't give a hug or you want, like, sometimes they complain that some people won't do this or some people won't do that, but they're always like, Jenn Sherman's so nice.
In these times of Corona,
and
by the way, I'm mental.
Well,
so the hugs are slimming. They're slowing down a bit this week.
Here's a hearty favor.
She's throwing me
wet ones,
antibacterial wipes, and I'm thankful for it.
Enjoy.
Because
there's like
are you bugging out about Corona?
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Me too. Just wondering.
I don't like to leave my house anyway, so this gives me more reason to stay home.
I know.
But so how does that feel for you? This whole sort of people are looking at you or know you. There's pressure that comes with that.
Yeah, a pressure that I certainly didn't know from or understand. So I'm just one of an amazing cycling team, right? I don't even know. I get this wrong. There's like 12 of us.
Yes,
whatever
and by the
it
way,
is,
I love Tundi. I think Alex is amazing. I love
God.
Cody.
They're all amazing.
Robin can really, some days, if I put Robin on, if I'm feeling crappy,
she's going to kick your ass.
I'll put Robin on and I'm like, she has diabetes. Yeah. She wears a diabetes pump. She was mugged. She was held hostage.
Yeah, she's a badass warrior.
Like the things that she's gone through.
Yeah, a lot.
And she's on the bike and she's doing it. So I need to shut the fuck up and ride the bike. Like it just, and that will like kick me into gear.
Yeah.
There's the ones I love for some reason. I love the classes that are like middle of the night live. Because they're in a
from
different
London,
time zone.
from the UK.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
amazing.
So cool.
Yeah, we're going global, by the way. On a side note,
it's
Peloton's
great.
Going global.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And getting back to the
being famous or people.
Okay, let's start over.
Yeah.
I am so not in my mind.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people who talk to me about this, and I spend a lot of time with people trying to, even Peloton people that have to work with me on this. I get it. I do get recognized a lot now.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm totally comfortable with it, but everyone's been so nice and so sweet. I haven't had any weird shit go down, if you know what I mean.
I don't think you will.
But it's still strange to me because when you take a look at our team, there's a good chunk of people on our team that spent a lot of time on Broadway stages.
Right.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jess King, who I fucking adore.
Yes.
I think she fucking won Dancing with the Stars. Like, Hannah spent tons of time on Broadway stages. Cody's been on tour with like fucking Britney Spears.
Right.
So
he's so delicious, that Cody.
He's the best. That's my boy.
My God.
Alex.
He is.
Anyway, they're my second family.
Yeah, of course.
And we're all so different, which is what makes us amazing. But so there are those on my team that are just much more comfortable with it than I am.
Right. Because I don't know that you were a showman.
No,
and so that's what I mean, right? Like,
say it again, a showman. Yeah,
right,
no.
They're like show people, like they're performers.
Yeah,
and here you came to the Spike as a spin teacher, which has an element of performance, of course, because you're leading a class. But now it's like being on TV.
As a suburban mom spin teacher.
Totally.
That still has to go to the supermarket. Jen, that still has to pick up my kids.
That's so great.
That still has to be at the soccer game.
I know.
I don't have time for trying to figure out the celebrity thing.
Yeah.
I really don't.
But that's what's so fun.
But it's been fun and cool.
Yeah.
And
but that's why you're so damn likable. Because
thanks.
it's very refreshing in a sea of, and by the way, I take everyone's class. Like, I like most of the teachers. I go by playlist. So, and I bounce around and I don't finish classes and I go in. I won't let anyone follow me. I'm on total lockdown.
I love that you call us teachers like Howard.
Well, you are. You're all the teachers.
I love it. It's cute.
That's what you are.
Instructors. Teachers.
I don't know.
Okay.
I say all sorts of weird things.
Okay, it's very cute.
But I love, like, just the fact that you are just like me and my friends. Like, you're
I know
a
a lot of
suburban
your friends. Your friends are my friends.
It's all the same
so
world.
it's all a little blurry.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
But I love that that it's so empowering because here you are.
Yeah.
50 years old or 51 years old.
51.
And doing this thing every day and doing it so well and inspiring and moving your body and it's so important to do, and there you are doing it. We get to do it with you, and it's incredibly, and I love that you sing and that you're not a singer.
Not everyone feels that way,
and
but okay.
I know, but it just makes me happy. Like, I love when there's sing-alongs, and I'm a music person, so like it's very important to me to have a good playlist, and when I could sing through the whole playlist, it's like the best time. And
we're all a little different, right?
Yeah.
We all bring such different things to the bikes. And you know what? You don't like my singing, or you don't like me making a Brady Bunch reference, or you don't like me talking about Howard Stern. Okay.
Right.
There's
To
others.
me, it's home. It's like home. It's like very much being at home when I'm extra. And I think that's why people also love you, because they feel like they're hanging out with their friend and they just happen to be exercising.
Well, I take that as the hugest compliment. So thank you.
But it's true. All right, let me go to Kenny. Is it Bania?
Kenny Bania is a Seinfeld character, but this guy's
that's his
clearly
username.
got a
can
username.
You get the headphones there? You can wipe them, or can you hear? Can you play it in the studio so she can hear?
No.
Oh
no,
Kenny.
Figures John Pruitt got through. You know, I know my
Kenny,
riders.
is that your
I know this
is that your username?
Well,
that's my leaderboard name, Jenny.
Kenny Bania. Hello.
What are you going to share your leaderboard name? Because you're missing out. I give really good high five.
Well, I mean, I've said my leaderboard name is Bunny Eyes Jenny. It's very easy. If you listen to my show and you know anything about me and you see Bunny Eyes Jenny, I think it's clear it's me, but I just don't let people follow me. So, like, you'll see me on the leaderboard in a live class. But
you're private. Yeah,
it's too much pressure. It takes away the fun if anyone follows me, because then I feel like I'm a loser if I don't finish a class or
stay private.
Ranky isn't good, private. You know?
I hear you.
I don't really know how to high five
Kenny
either.
Bania was the ultimate loser comedian in Seinfeld, so he took the name of the loser. So don't feel bad.
I watched every single episode of Seinfeld. But Kenny, are you high on the leaderboard? What's your real name?
So my real name is John Pruitt.
Hi, John.
Hi, you're the one who puts on Facebook every Friday, like
he's the one that wears the T-shirt
like a
with
drink every Friday or something.
Jenn Sherman. No, that's someone else.
That's another John.
That's John Bernstein.
Okay. You wear the shirt with Jenn Sherman's face.
Yes.
Amazing. That's a little bit creepy, John.
Thank you,
John.
And I say that with love and respect,
John.
John. But yes, that's John.
Oh my God.
I do post a lot of instructor-related compilation videos, though, Jenny. If you haven't caught those, including Jen.
Okay, I haven't, but I'll look for them now. Yeah, I'll look for them.
So
John's a good guy. We like John. I've named him my trusty assistant. He takes all the little comments that Howard Stern will say about me, and he puts them together for me. I mean, I can't do that shit.
Oh, like audiograms.
He does. So
I love
thank you,
that.
John, for that.
John,
very loyal Peloton rider.
Do you live in a basement? I'm just kidding.
Just right there. No, not in my mom's basement.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that's great. And you love Jenn because?
So Jenn, from the very first time I took her ride over 2.5 years ago, I knew she was the instructor for me because, like so many things I could identify with, we're both from New Jersey, we're massive Grateful Dead fans, Howard Stern fans, so the thing that really pulled me in was the way she would just interact with people in the studio and on the leaderboard. No other instructor interacts that way, just connects with all the people.
Yeah.
She just has a great way of mastering that. And then she was hilarious.
Yes.
And, she's swearing, and I loved the singing along. And then when I met her a couple of years ago, it was just, I told her, I rated her class a 9 out of 10 stars.
Annoying.
And we were just,
Of course, I would hope it's a noin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just, all the Howard Stern stuff. And then talking music. So, I am a loyal JSS
I love that.
member of her men's following, the Jenn's Men.
Hashtag
mention
Jenn's
that
Men.
group.
John, you're adorable. Not that scary. Like a little scary, but not that scary.
No.
Figures this dude got through.
Yeah.
This is the guy that can
Amazing.
sit
And,
through SiriusXM.
Yeah, at all times.
I'm really hoping and waiting for her actual in-studio appearance on Howard Stern, but this is pretty awesome calling into SiriusXM to
All right.
chat with y'all.
I'm sure
But
she'll
my
get there at
question-
some point. Take care.
Oh.
But I do have one quick question, 2 prongs.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to get a Grateful Dead ride, Jenn?
Yeah.
And then I want to know what your process, if you're willing to share your process about building a playlist. What's
Great
the secret
question.
formula?
Okay. First of all, Grateful Dead ride. And I know I do get a ton of requests for that. So you do know there is one living somewhere in those archives on our on-demand library. I think it's called the Dancing Bears ride, but you've probably taken it. Maybe you're sick of it. So
And I think it's purged. I think it's actually purged at this point. I
Yeah.
just look for
It might come back.
It might come back. There could be a Grateful Dead ride in the future. It's not like the old days where I could just like wake up that first year or two and be like, I want to do a Dead ride. And they'd be like, cool, get up there.
Right.
It's a little different now. We have to sit down with a team of producers and go over things. And there's music stuff that has to be dealt with, stuff like that. So
Shakedown Street would work.
it would work.
There you go. All right, we're onto it.
Look
we're
at
building
that.
it now.
So I would love to do another Dead ride, and I will bring it up in one of my next coming meetings. It comes up a lot, so I will address it. That's one, and two.
How you make the playlist?
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot. Playlists first and foremost are my heart and my soul. Seriously, they tell the stories of these rides for me. It's no surprise. If you know anything about me, I'm a diehard music fan. That's why I fell in love with indoor cycling as a workout, right? So before I got certified, I had my instructor who I thought had the most kick-ass, amazing music ever. And I will say this because I want people to know this, and I've said it before in interviews, making a playlist, especially for Peloton, because we got to take everything really seriously. We have a big audience. It takes work. It's not brain surgery. I'm not going to try to even pretend it's that.
It takes work. It has to match the class and the
does.
cadence.
There's cadence and there's rhythm and what feels right on a hill and what feels right on a fast road and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I agonize at times, I can agonize. I can reshape it 50 times until it's perfect. What am I ending with? What am I putting right in the middle? So it's a combination of, for me, it comes easy at this point. I've been doing it a long time, but I still put every ounce of like my heart and soul into it. And I think about what riders would want to hear. And then there are times where I don't care what a rider wants to hear.
Right.
I know it's going to work right here.
Yeah.
I know I might play something someone's never even heard before.
Right.
But you got to trust me that it's going to be like a good moment.
Yeah.
And it's really just about having a music sensibility. For me, anyway, that's when I build it. When I'm driving and listening to music in the car, I'm like, oh, this is a perfect climb. This is a perfect hill. This is a perfect moderate jog. Music just translates that way to me at this point after all these years.
Soundtrack of your life.
Yeah, so it's a process. It's just a process, and I'm going to make everyone bored to death if I went on and on about it.
No, I don't think it's boring. And John, I'm letting you go. Thank you for
John.
calling. Goodbye. No, it does. It takes work, and with the amount of people now watching and riding, you do have to really because I have seen it. It is fascinating to watch how the camera changed, how the lighting changed, how the whole studio changed.
The whole production element of Peloton obviously has changed over the years. We've got, we're Peloton now. So what's great is we can hire away the best people from other companies to do the best possible work ever.
That's right. Yeah.
And Foley has said many times before, hire someone smarter and better, and you're in good shape. You know what I mean? I read,
or somebody actually told me that now they're offering that people can rent bikes.
Is
you
that
don't
true?
have to just buy bikes, or you can rent.
I think you can now. There is. I should know this, right? But I don't work in the boutique and sell the bikes, but I should know this. Yes, you can. You can now. Get a bike, and if you're not happy with it, you can return your bike, which is a big deal for people. They don't want to plunk. A lot of people don't want it. It's a lot of money. It's
so worth it, and they have financing options. It really is so worth it. I mean, I've used a treadmill forever, and the Peloton was the first bit of equipment that I got that I had to have it. I saw the commercials. I guess this was when you guys first started putting it on TV.
Yeah.
And I saw the commercials and I was like, I have to get it. So then my sister made sure I got it for my birthday.
Aww.
And which is why when the whole brouhaha about the commercial with the girl.
Insanity.
And that whole thing happened. I mean, I thought it was funny and I got why people were upset and everything because she hadn't asked for the bike.
Right.
But I wanted the bike. So when it showed up, I was like, yes. And it still, I mean,
4 years later, you're still on it.
I'll get on it for 10 minutes. And then later in the day, I'll do another 10 minutes. I don't care. I'll do whatever works in my day, but the fact that it's always there, and if I want to take a Broadway ride, I can find a Broadway ride. If I want to sing Hamilton, I could sing Hamilton. If I want to find a 70s ride, that's rock. There you have it.
Yeah.
If I want an 80s ride or 70s pop, it's all right there.
It is.
And it's just,
And Peloton, of course, has the data and all the info that you would ever want to know.
They do need to fix their search, though.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to be searching music choice.
You can.
You could search pop, but you can't search
more specific?
A Madonna ride, or you can't really do that.
You can search genre. You're right. Maybe you have to go into pop and find.
And there used to be websites that were doing that, and I don't know if they still do. But that's the only thing. But I search rides and then I bookmark, which is a really easy thing to do. I'll bookmark 50 rides.
Yeah, to come back to them.
I'm set.
Yeah, it's so great.
And I just look and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that one. I did some teacher in London who did an end of the year something that was so good.
Okay, that's
I don't
great.
remember her name.
And 4 years later, you're still riding, and that's the beauty of Peloton, because most people have the bike, and I'm sure you can go onto Craigslist and find someone selling a bike, but for the most part,
we keep them.
We've got the numbers and the data, and people just keep riding.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
It's a really good piece of equipment. It's a really smart thing, and also I think it goes from sort of the top down. I think John Foley really had not just this vision, but this passion, and it's similar to what I talk about on Instagram when that started as just because I exercise every day. So the hashtag movement was really out of this idea that we can all move our bodies every day.
That's right.
Just find a way to do it. And if you have something like a Peloton bike, you have it right there. It's effortless.
And for people that are overwhelmed, by the way, you are doing such an incredible service to your followers. This movement is amazing.
It's fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you messaged me the other day. I was so happy. You were like, I just got on the treadmill.
Because of you. People think it's easy for me just because it's still my job, people. And I do have to take care of my bodies in other ways than on the bike.
Yes.
I still have to lift weights and I still have to do some other things. So you motivated me to do that the other day. But it's just all good stuff. And Peloton does offer a 15-minute ride and beginner rides for those people that are nervous and scared.
That's right. By the way,
15 minutes.
We haven't even talked about the fact that if you don't have a bike, you could do the Peloton app.
Right.
And you could pay for that monthly. It's not expensive. And they have boot camp. You don't need a bike. They have treadmill workouts. They have outdoor workouts. They have really anything, stretching and lifting weights. And you put it on you put the app on a smart TV, and everybody has smart TVs.
Yep.
And it's like you're in a class.
How's your smart TV?
Freaking amazing.
You love your new smart TV?
I love my new smart TV. I mean, my husband hooked me up so good. He was so cute.
It's amazing.
He's like, get the bed out of this room. Why is it in here? I mean, and make it a room. And now it's I saw your cave. It's like a fucking playground.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
I know.
Speaking of the app, I am just going to give a little shout out. And not just because I love Peloton, I work for Peloton. I'm living for our app.
I know.
Our fitness app is fucking amazing.
Yes.
I can't even believe the things I'm doing with this app that I would not be doing if I didn't have it.
I know.
So check that out too if you don't have a bike or a tread.
So anyway, I think I have to go to break because it's 1:30.
Okay.
You are delightful. You're at Peloton Jen on
am.
Instagram.
That's
and
right.
She's verified, so don't click another.
I'm verified, but God knows
Sherman.
how. Because I don't even know,
Yeah.
right? Isn't Instagram hard, Jenny, before you go to
Yes.
break?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing at
It's-
51 years old.
Yeah, no one does.
My
And
kids tell
you
me
just
I
have to-
suck.
Well, of course
Yours
they tell you
don't.
suck.
Your
My
amazing
tell
kids
me I
don't
suck.
tell you you
Of course
suck on
I do.
Instagram.
Every day.
They don't
tell
tell
me
you
I'm
suck.
a loser.
You're lying.
But it's fine. I don't
doing
mind
it.
it. You
Yeah.
just do it because you do it.
Yeah.
And that's that. And hopefully, if you can get one person to feel a little bit better, and I'm pretty sure you get a lot of people to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Well, thank
That's
you.
what I would have to say. So follow Jen at Peloton Jen, and also follow at One Peloton. And if you don't have a bike, at least get the app and start to play with it, and then you'll get a bike because you'll want it.
Movement.
Yes, that is a hashtag. Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, quick break, you guys, and I'll be right back.
We'll have more healthy tips and talk